Welcome to Cleaning Company Blueprint. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of people start their own cleaning companies. We're currently hosting a 21-day program on Zoom, and we're posting the recordings here live on YouTube. So if you want to follow along, subscribe and like the video.
So today we are going to be looking at Yelp and how to leverage Yelp in order to get Google to notice you. And I believe this is going to be Kevin's tonight.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. Ready to go?
Go for it.
All right, cool. So I'm going to share my screen for Yelp. And we're going to kind of look at kind of how, Yelp's ranking organically. And we're really kind of just using Yelp as an example. So you can think of all these other platforms in kind of a similar way, where they're kind of like a mini Google, where you can rank on them sometimes in ways other than paying them or just having the most reviews. They use a lot of other things like keywords, which we're going to go into, that you can use to start ranking even with little or no reviews. So I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so I searched here on Yelp for Los Angeles, and I'm using the keyword house cleaning. So one thing that's important to note is that this is a keyword, and then also the city is a keyword. And this is important because sometimes people aren't searching for Los Angeles if they're in West Hollywood or Beverly Hills or Westwood or any of these smaller areas. And so those are also keywords. And so it's important to use those throughout your profile, which we're going to see in a second. So with Yelp, these are basically the different sections that they have. These are sponsored results. I'm going to skip these. And I'm also I'll just quickly say too, don't typically recommend paying to be here if you have no reviews. So, these companies here basically have no reviews. People are coming to Yelp because they want a trusted company that has reviews on there. So if you don't have any, it's basically impossible, or it's just pointless to be paying Yelp when you don't have any reviews. They will tell you different. They will tell you that, that's the best way to get reviews. But you're not going to get that many leads or have a good ROI on your investment there. So down here in this section, this is kind of the organic search results from Yelp, and a lot of other platforms have this. So I'm going to scroll down. There's an example that I like to use. This is Amy's Angels Cleaning. Usually they're almost always in the top first page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on here, and let's just kind of go through their page real quick. So here there's a portfolio of the business. This is also a sponsored section, so you don't have to have this initially. And all these little sections that they have here. Let me see. Oh, maybe they don't have it anymore. But so they have that. They have this guarantee that they have, and then another thing too is the response times. So on almost all of these platforms are tracking your response times, which basically means when a user sends you a message, how quickly do you respond? With Yelp, you can ask a quote from several different companies, and Yelp is just tracking all of these different companies and how quickly they're responding. What these platforms really want is a good user experience for their users, right? For their customers. And so they want to make sure that they're serving those customers, those users, with companies that are very responsive. And that's extremely true on Thumbtack. It's one of their probably top 3 ways that they'll rank you on their search results page. So you want to make sure that you're using their apps on your phone so that you're getting those messages immediately, and you're responding to them right away. In a lot of these platforms, you're also able to set certain times that you're available to respond to those messages. So make sure you utilize that, so nobody messages you at 1 o'clock in the morning and you don't respond until 8 o'clock, and then that changes your average response time from 10 minutes to 55 minutes or whatever. So I'm just going to go through again on this page. Some common things that I find that people don't do very well. And this is probably, I'm going to probably say this again and again on this call. They don't fill things out properly. So about the business, read more. This is just such a great example. They've filled this out basically as much as they can. This is exactly what you want to do. And what you'll see here is they use keywords like residential house cleaning, commercial, Los Angeles County, let's see here, professional cleaners. These are all keywords. And so they basically paid somebody to write this up. And nowadays you can use ChatGPT to do this for you and include these keywords. They've actually, people have caught on to this, and there's a little warning message. And basically you just don't want to fill this with just keywords, but you do want to make it sound like you're actually talking about your specialties. But again, you'll see, professional cleaning, clean, one-time cleaning, recurring cleaning. These are basically different keywords, so that when somebody searches for this keyword, those profiles with these keywords are going to show up. And let me see if I can find an example. If I go back to this page, this main page here, I search for the term house cleaning, and what you're going to see is that same keyword highlighted in bold here and here and here in these organic search results. So they're basically seeing, okay, which profiles are including this keyword in there. And that's how they're serving up these different profiles. There's a lot of different, things that they're also looking at. It's not just keywords, but it's definitely one of the most important things that you want to do, especially when it comes to Yelp. So these sections, make sure that you're putting these keywords in here. And then the other thing too that they do a pretty good job with is if I go to photos and videos. So all of these different pictures here, when we click on them, actually these are new, but what they do is they include these different keywords. So they'll have cleaning and then Los Angeles. Let me actually, let me click on these. Let's see. Okay, so in all of these images that we see here, you can upload a bunch of images to Yelp, and it's just another area to input your keywords. So in all of the images, if you look at this example and you go through, you're going to see a bunch of different keywords. Let me see if I can go to, so these are all recently added. Here we go. So I mean, this is just a picture of a bedroom. It doesn't really matter what the picture is of exactly. But what they're doing that you can see here is for cleaning, and then they're doing Santa Monica. And again, you'll see this, shower, Los Angeles, home cleaning, Alhambra, California, regular cleaning. Again, they have this hundreds of times on their profile. And these are different keywords. So when somebody searches Palo Verde, this profile of their business is more likely to show up than if all they said in here was Los Angeles or nothing. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure that no matter if it's Yelp or whatever other platform you're on, you take your time and fill out this profile completely with keywords and a bunch of images. So if you just upload 5 images, nobody's probably going to find your profile. And again, another really important thing is the response times on all these different platforms. So let me see here. So location and hours, again, when you're filling this out, they're just using a standard address. It doesn't really matter. They're basically, and again, I've had success using WeWork for Yelp. And then they're using this service area to basically denote their, where they work. And this also helps with search as well. So when people are searching for areas specific in this service area, that has a play in, what's served in those search results. And then ask the community. So you can have your friends ask questions in here on your profile. They can ask a question and you can answer it. And again, including keywords, and it's just more content that you're putting on these pages. and then they have the reviews as well. So a lot of people, they also have a little difficulty when it comes to a brand new Yelp page. What they'll find is a lot of their initial reviews get flagged and then aren't public. So, Amy's Cleaning Angels has 158 on here that just, got flagged. And one thing that you'll notice too, a lot of these profiles, this is the same one, they have basically no friends. They don't have a lot of reviews. They don't have a lot of images uploaded to Yelp. So if you're asking friends and family or even customers, it's important to ask them which which platforms they use. So if they're an avid Yelp user, then you want them to leave you a review on Yelp. It's much more likely to stick if they're doing that. If they've never used Yelp before, it's probably not worthwhile for them to leave a review on Yelp, but instead leave you a review on Google. And the other thing too is a lot of these reviews that get flagged do not include images. And it's not a sure guarantee, but if you're asking, people initially, like friends and family, to leave you a review, if they can leave you a review with images like this, and if they're a really good friend, maybe they could put in some keywords for each of these images, it's much more likely for this review to stick and not be hidden if they include images in it, because that's just a criteria that Yelp uses to gauge if the review is legitimate or not. So yeah, I mean, those things are kind of like the main stuff about Yelp. It's kind of self-explanatory, but it's just one of the most common things I find is that people don't fill out their Yelp profiles all the way. There's also a bunch of products that, let me see if there's any examples on here. Okay, so what you'll see here is like $10 for $20 deal. So if I click on this, okay, where do they have it? So here they have this 10 for $20 deal. And they also have buy gift certificates. So I highly recommend that you add as many of these as you can. And you also have the highest amount possible. I think they allow up to $500 or so. So you can do a deal for like, $300 to $500 worth of cleaning. And I recommend having the highest amount because it gives Yelp the ability to make a little bit more money from your profile if somebody buys that. And so that means that you're more likely to be ranking on the search results page because you're offering deals versus not offering any deals, and Yelp has no way of earning revenue from your profile. So you want to make sure those are filled out as well, and you're offering whatever kind of deals that you could offer. And again, like, they didn't really do a great job here. This is something you don't want to do where you're just the specialties. I mean, this is just like bare bones. So you definitely want to have a lot more in here as possible. And if I go to I always get that wrong, Angels Cleaning, and you do like about the business owner or meet the business owner section, this isn't the area for like your personal life story. And how you got to where you are today. This is just another area for you to add in more keywords. So you'll see here, cleaning, organizing, again, cleaning, and then adding in like you grew up in the city. So you'll have the city name in there. And you move to another city, which is another city that you locate in, that you service in. So just think about it from a way of like placing keywords in here and being a little bit strategic when it comes to your profile, instead of just, getting it up, putting 5 images on there and then calling it a day. And this is true with, all these other platforms. The most successful companies on here work the platforms. They're logging in, every couple of days, updating it, adding new images. Those are things that these platforms track, right? Again, like I mentioned, they want to make sure that their users have a good experience and that the companies that they reach out to on their platform are going to be able to, respond quickly and provide them with some type of service. And so you want to make sure that, not only are you logging in here regularly, if you don't log in here for, 2 months, you're not going to get any business from Yelp. But if you have the app on your phone, and I mean the app for business owners, and you're constantly, responding to leads and all that stuff, you're much more likely to actually have this platform be successful for your business. So, I think that's about it when it comes to Yelp. Oh, and one more thing too, I'll just quickly mention. I did mention how these are keywords. So if you actually change it, like from house to home cleaning, again, the importance of having different keywords, what you'll notice is that these search results are going to be a little bit different. So this was number 2, now it's number 1. Let me see where Amy is. Amy's down a little bit, but you'll see that these, some that weren't showing up earlier are showing up because just even going from house to home is a little bit different. So make sure you're putting in all the little cities, all the little villages, whatever you have throughout your profile, and not just the main city that you service. And then also house cleaning, home cleaning, different variations, maids, all that stuff throughout your profile. So I'm going to end the share there and then see if there's any questions.
Okay, before we get into questions, I just want to show you how, so Jen took this exact same thing 2 years ago, this exact same course. And when she did, she loved looking at the Amy's Angels example, right, Jen?
Oh, I 100% referenced them. Like,
so
I did everything she said. So what we're also saying, like, no words on your website, as few words as possible on your website, but as many words, keywords that you can work into like language to sentences on your Yelp page, because you're working those keywords.
Yeah. And I wanted to just show how we currently use Yelp, if that's okay for everybody here, because we're in Canada, and Crystal, one of our students here the other day, mentioned, hey, Yelp in Canada is for like restaurant reviews and for 1-star or 5-star reviews. And 100%, Crystal, you're right. Canadians don't really actively use Yelp for writing reviews of other things other than restaurants. It's just not a thing. So when Jen took this class, she was like, how do I, is this relevant? And so the way we interpret this is we use Yelp to get Google to notice us. We are not focused on getting reviews on Yelp, again, because Canadians just don't use it. We're focused on reviews on Google. We provide the option for people to write a review on Yelp, but we don't get our knickers in a knot to push for reviews on Yelp. And because I've been doing this coaching thing for a while now, this is the class where people stop paying attention. And this is the thing that when I go in and I coach somebody that's owned their cleaning company for a year or more and is stuck at like $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month, and they can't figure out why, this is the first thing I do. I Google them. And then I go, you're not appearing on Yelp and you're not doing some basic stuff. So tomorrow we'll go over some hiring stuff. Actually, sorry, I was going to say something else. So cancel clear. We will eventually go over Google, but for now, just looking at how we use Yelp. Now, this is how we use it. We add a photo and/or you can see we've done the Amy's Angels way. Like everything is in here. Jen's got best cleaner ever, no way wasting time searching for a cleaner or looking for a cleaner. We've tested it. We know that's the most important thing. And then you can see we've copied, using the keywords without it sounding bad. And then Jen's done that here. We actually could probably update this now, but yeah, anyway,
it's just that, yeah.
Were you just thinking that? Again, this is one of these things you do at the beginning, and then you forget to look at it again. Yeah. So we only have one review, and it's funny because Brittany is, or Britt here is a good friend of ours. She uses Yelp because she goes to the States all the time, so she's amazing. So she, got approved. We've got 6 other reviews that are not recommended. And these are actually real, which is funny. It's infuriating to me because they are real. And it's like, oh, come on. But Yelp has decided this one's fair. That was me.
That's Vicky.
I tried. Anyway, so But the main thing is the photos and images every single week are, now it's our virtual assistant, but it was me. We post a photo, and you should, best practice is to take a real photograph of, or have your cleaners do it, of a before and an after. That is best practice. However, we don't have time for that. So we just use stock images that we're allowed to use. We use either Pexels or Unsplash. And you'll notice Yelp actually organizes the pictures for you. And so put in the chat, what is the theme that you're seeing here in terms of the images? Okay, there's a whole bunch of images here. What's that, Jen?
I was going to say happy smiling faces.
Happy smiling faces. Thank you. Okay, you got it. So happy smiling faces. Okay, so again, I know we've said this a lot, but like this matters. Happy smiling faces, relevant to what you're talking about. I didn't order these, Yelp ordered them. And then there's also the keywords. So again, you can write your keywords in here without being obvious that that's what you're doing. It needs to be relevant. And we're going to say that over and over again for all kind of SEO keyword stuff.
Name there, though.
Yeah, see, you can see all the problems. Yeah, that was in the beginning.
Anyways,
you took the class and you heard we need before and afters. So then we started doing before and afters. But, anyway, the point is, this is part of our weekly process. And if you go back to our Google view there, hang on, let me find it. And I did do a search for Oak Bay Clean, to be fair, but you can see it comes up right here on the first page. If I did a search for like best cleaners, Victoria, BC, if I did it incognito, it'd be more real. But anyway, if I did that, you would probably see that the Yelp thing will come up. The vast majority of companies that are on Yelp don't do the keyword thing.
Yeah, and so you want to get onto the front page of Yelp. And we did, like, I listened to what Kevin and Rohan said about using the keywords and doing exactly what Amy did. And we were on the front page in 2 days. It took 2 days.
Yeah,
and we were showing up in Google reviews. Yeah.
And our very first booking came from Yelp.
Yeah,
and our very first recurring client, which we did, we got her as a residential client and as a commercial client. We cleaned her office and her home. Yeah. So, but what Kevin said earlier is like, they want to see themselves as something that people are actively using constantly. And so I almost see it like they want to see themselves as a blog, a place for businesses to blog about themselves. Like, it's almost like that. So if you set your Yelp page and you forget about it for 2 years, you are missing a golden opportunity. Yeah, I just mean they're organizing the pics.
Yeah, they're not by date, those pictures.
Yeah. I have no idea. They decided it. It's always that one lady. She's always in the first position. I always laugh. I'm always like, okay, you like that one. And the funny thing is, we do have real photos of actual like homes that cleaners have cleaned. Yelp puts them way at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't like the idea. You'll see some profiles where there's like a dirty toilet, and then for some reason, like Yelp will order that to be like the first image that's shown. So it's not a good idea. I don't like the dirty images.
No,
right?
Me neither.
Some people do that, and then they'll upload another image of the clean one, but then Yelp will order it so that it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
So when somebody's looking through your profile, they should just see the nice, tidy homes, and not those dirty before images, unless you can do it where it's the same image. But then the other thing too, like even if you are in Canada and Yelp isn't a big thing, that doesn't mean that Yelp won't be a big thing, right? So all they have to do is just start marketing a little bit more to service companies, and then Yelp can be your first, second, or third best source of new customers a year from now. And there's a lot of other platforms like that where they're starting to grow and they're getting some traction. So when you Google house cleaning in your city, you're going to see these different platforms. And I would recommend just going from page 1 to page 2 to page 3, even look at the different platforms on like page 10 and listing on there, because it doesn't cost any money. You're getting another backlink to your website that Google can use to help rank your site. And there's just no reason not to. So you want to be on as many platforms as possible.
Yeah.
Agreed. If I can share one thing real quick about the before and after pictures, I'll share my screen super quick. Let's see. As people are always like, how do I get before and after pictures? I don't even have my first job, right? So what I did, my before and after pictures were, let me close. My house. So yeah, this is my house back then. And all I did is I put like a plastic bag on a table and kind of like a bottle and made it look a little bit messy on one side. And then just literally just moved the stuff and reorganized it and made it look cool. And if you look really closely on the monitor, that's my first version of my website. We can't see it that well, but yeah, you can take before and after pictures of your own house, your bedroom, whatever.
Yeah, we did that too. Yeah, for sure. Because
it's actually so funny. I totally remember it.
Yeah.
And when Jen was like, yeah, well, I took this course and Rohan said this, so we're taking pictures. She's like, let's mess it up. Click. Let's clean it up. Click.
And then we
then
also
together. That was the key there, was putting them together so Yelp can't divide them and show your dirty one first. That's the key.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then we also used it like when images from the website, like pictures of our website pages.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can basically, screen capture different sections of your website and just throw that on Yelp, and it helps with your branding because it's all cohesive. And then when they go to your website, it kind of matches. So it's all kind of, looking like a brand.
Yeah.
It's funny. We have tested doing the testimonial thing. So you can take, somebody writes a review on Google, you can then capture the words from that and their name, and you can create an image in Canva or anywhere where you've got, the quote with your colors and then the person's name. So that's totally fair. They left you a public review. And then you can put it onto Yelp. But in the beginning, Yelp will show those photos, but now you didn't see any there. Like they're so buried down below. So they obviously don't like them much, which is fine. Rich asked, can you use the same language for all of these sites? Each of them has a different number of characters. So yes, but no.
Yeah. And I mean, you could just use like ChatGPT. It does it in an instant. I wouldn't recommend copying and pasting on different sites because that's duplicate content. And Google does not like duplicate content. So use ChatGPT to just rewrite it in a second. It's free. Have a list of keywords in there and that's it. You're done.
But within ChatGPT, just know you want to make sure it does sound human. It is so obvious to your, especially, your moms that are busy when they read like, oh, this was written by a computer. So don't turn your clients away by using a tech tool that, you can just add the little thing saying, make it sound like a human. Make it sound like a mom of two kids or whatever. But the human part is so important in this industry. We aren't selling anything but solutions for humans.
Does Yelp take a percentage of people book through Yelp? That's what Mary's asking.
Yes. So depending on what product it is, they will take a percentage. Different platforms will, charge you per lead that they send you. And we'll go into this a little bit more on a different day, but it's something that you really have to be organized with, especially when it comes to your leads. Otherwise, it's just throwing money down the drain. Like, I've talked to people who are paying for leads. They contact them one time and then they just don't do anything with those leads. You don't want to do that. We want to constantly be marketing to these leads. You've paid for them. They're yours to continue to contact until they book or, they tell you to get lost. So, yeah.
Facts.
It's so funny. Jen and I don't do any of
because we don't have those sites here.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Wish we did.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I do. At the beginning, yes.
At the beginning, I know. It just gets so much easier when you get going, you guys. It's the first year is hard.
At the beginning, I would have yes.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What permission do you get for taking before and after pictures? That's what you're asking, Philip?
Yeah. So generally, like our rule of thumb for our cleaners, we don't really post a lot of them anymore. We used to when we first started, but what you want to do is make sure that they're kind of close-up shots. There's nothing personal being revealed. So you're not sharing the design of one of your clients' homes. That's not cool. It just wouldn't be cool anyway. So the fact that you're asking that question shows that that that's not cool, right? And then when, you know, the best before and afters are like really close up, like it's like the sink. And it's the same angle. And it is like, if you're going to get your cleaners to take these photos, they do need a little bit of training. Yeah. Jen's like, don't bother. That you can't get cleaners to focus on photography when they're cleaning. However,
it's like they're too busy. They're like,
so busy. The only reason we have our cleaners do before and afters is to protect the cleaners from clients, especially for move in, move outs, from clients saying, hey, you didn't do this. And then we can say, actually, here's the photo of what the oven was like before. This is the photo of the oven after. We did say she did her best. Some things we can't fix. Here's what we can't fix. You know, so it's for us, it's to protect the cleaners. And it's to help us with customer service.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kevin and Rohan, did you guys have your cleaners take before and afters, or for
So,
For me,
profiles?
yeah, Kevin.
yeah, at the time, yeah, cell phone quality from, you know, images were just not that great, and you couldn't really get a lot of detail, so there just wasn't really a thing.
So what I used to do, I would have my cleaners go out to do a test clean, and those test cleans would be at my friends' houses, and then I'll have my friends take the pictures, like the before and then the after. That was it mainly. I may have offered a discount at one time for cleans, where we told the client, hey, you know, we'll take a 25% discount if we can do before and after. But we did that maybe like 1 or 2 times, but mostly test cleans. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea about the test cleans. It's a really good idea.
Yeah, that's smart.
Because then you can, yeah, your friends will, yeah. You should have thought of that.
They'll take better pictures. Yeah.
You mentioned other platforms. I'm just curious, maybe what your top 5 suggestions are. I would obviously be looking at Google and Yelp based on what we've discussed so far, but what might be the other 2 or 3 platforms that cleaning companies had success with getting leads, especially in the beginning?
Great question. So it's going to be dependent on your city. One thing that I would do is when you do that Google search for cleaning companies in your area, you're going to see not just actual companies, but you're going to see like Yelp come up, and these other platforms. The other platforms that are probably most popular are going to be Thumbtack. It's also going to be Bark. There's a couple other smaller platforms, but it's really kind of probably, you know, those 3 or 4 that are going to give you the majority of your leads.
Very good. Thank you.
And we have a document where we can give you a list that has been shown to work. So when we get to marketing, I'll give you guys that document. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
So we're going to review your websites on Sunday. We thought it would be a good weekend to talk about what we're actually selling, which are cleaners. So tomorrow we're going to dive in deep on the hiring, but we're going to, you know, as I said, we're going to dive in deep first about your best boss and your worst boss, because I know we got stories in this room. And I want you thinking about these things, because you are now going to become the owner of a company where people are going to either want to work with you or they're not going to want to work with you. So let's get into the whys. And then on Sunday, as many of you as possible that are ready to share their website and take feedback from us, Sunday is going to be a really fun night, just a really good chance for us to see each other's work. I'm not sure, maybe what we'll do at the beginning of Sunday is we'll ask people that are willing to have it go on YouTube, and people that aren't, we can do a record halfway. So if you're uncomfortable sharing anything on YouTube, just tell us, so we put you in the second half of the class. And then we'll have the people that are comfortable with YouTube, you know, because you are sharing your stuff, like we get it. Yeah, I think that's it. No other questions? Everybody's good? Awesome. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment or a question below. And most importantly, go to cleaningcompanyblueprint.com if you're ready to join us in starting your own cleaning company.